Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Electronic Harassment Parent Coalition of Palm Springs, California. My name's Kevin Bond, and we're coming to you tonight from my parents' house. I don't shoot here very often, but they are out of town. This is something that I wanted to talk to everybody about. When my parents go out of town, I have to, because of the situation, I have to come over and stay here all the time. Um, Things like hide keys, things like keys in like hidden on car doors or for car doors. These kinds of things you can't leave around when Lori and her brother are here because she will go to your house in the middle of the night knowing that you're asleep. And then she will have her brother look for the hide key, and they will take your car joyriding. If you want to ask Anthony Davieri what that's like, they'll take his car out and shoot bullet holes in it. I've had several cars stolen. I've had a couple of cars messed with, and I really don't like thinking that my parents have to worry about their own house when they're gone. So, welcome to my parents' house. This is it. Also, I have a few things that I wanted to do tonight. The first thing is let everybody know that yes, Lori is still going crazy. I don't know what her problem is lately. I think it's drug related, probably banging pretty hard. It's just really ridiculous when you have to listen to somebody on crystal methamphetamine 24 hours a day. It's one of those things where, I have an addiction problem already, and I haven't used in over 8 years. But I want everybody to know that, it's hard to have to listen to somebody that's constantly using methamphetamine day and night and, yelling at you in your head. It's even worse when these people are the people that sexually assaulted you. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody's really considered how awful it is that the victims of this crime are actually having to hear from their rapists every day. Um, the police that used to listen to these people weren't sexually assaulted. So they may not have liked having to hear from her, but they had a choice. So I just wanted to let everybody know that she's gotten worse. She's going to stay worse because that's who she is. And, that's the kind of person that Lori has been her entire life. She is a 100% do everything she can to hurt me and anybody I know kind of person. That's just who she is. I never spent any time thinking that she was like this after I left high school, but apparently this became her entire world. I don't know. I've just heard from people that, she's made up these stories and she's got all of these little, things about me from the past that she thinks happened, but they never did. I am not the kind of person that, even though I didn't like her, I didn't really have anything to say about her. I have, witnessed even police officers that know that I've never ever spoken about her. I've never said her name, anything. So there is absolutely no obsession between myself and this girl. But it seems to go the other way. I've heard that she's stolen little trinkets of mine, pictures, scrapbooks. At one point, she stole everything that I owned. And then she went ahead and filed a restraining order and said she hadn't heard about anything about me in years. And I thought, that's a pretty ballsy move when you are bold enough to steal somebody's things and then go around telling everybody that you don't know anything about them after, for 30 years you talked about nothing about me. So it's one of those things. I wanted to answer a few questions tonight that I got online. The first one comes from Jerry Gillum, and he wanted to know, what are your biggest concerns? And I guess I get a lot of questions about what are my biggest concerns with this technology and my health, or what are my biggest concerns about what Lori and her brother are up to, or anything like that. To be quite honest with you, my concerns don't really come in the area of Lori and her brother. I am definitely afraid for my life, and I am definitely afraid for the lives of my family members because I've heard that Lori has this, weird kind of obsession with us. We are very normal people. My dad was a teacher. My mom owned a ladies' dress shop for years. Very well known in the community. My sister's a really well known athlete. I was really well known, and we just, we're just people. Now we've got, I've got two nieces, and they've got kids and husbands and stuff, and we're all pretty tight. So Lori's got kind of an attitude about, making sure that their lives are even worse than she's already made them. And Jerry, my biggest concern is that I will have to go back to work full time. There was a problem with my disability, and this project requires that I work all the time on it. And the team that watches me and that knows about me knows that I'm not lying when I have to deal with this situation all day long. I hear from Lori and her friend Christian all day long. And it's not anything that ever lightens up. It's never easy. I can't do anything without a full commentary from both of them. Her brother was just as bad for years. And it's like it's literally hearing somebody stalk you, what they think and how they think. So like I said, when I have a period when my parents go away or they're out of town for a few days, I have to make sure that everything here is locked up and secure. I have great parents, so I get to come over here and eat and stuff like everybody else would. That, of course, makes Lori extremely jealous. Her thing is to, make people that are financially secure not secure. And one of the things that she likes to do is to take away their financial support, take away the support of their family, take away, food, clothing, everything, because she's so jealous. So that's one of my biggest concerns. My big concern is that I will have to go back to work full time, even though I have a disability, and even though this project should be taking up all of my time, and I should be doing research for two police officers working for two different police departments, because there's a lot that they need to know from me in person that they can't get. So, Jerry, thanks for your question. I really appreciate that. That's a very nice thing. Second thing I wanted to say was, if you haven't seen the blog lately, I watched a terrific movie the other night. Lily Tomlin, amazing. Marcia Gay Harden. I think Garner is the young lady's name that plays the granddaughter of Lily Tomlin in the movie. It's called Grandma. If you haven't seen it yet, look for it online. Look for it anywhere you can get it. It's one of the finest movies I've ever seen on the topic of abortion. And, if you know anything about Lily, she's a wonderful person, and she's got a lot of insight into this issue. It actually bridges the gap between, the women's movement in the 60s and 70s and what women go through now in the 2010s and 15s. It's a beautiful movie. It's well acted. I think it was like $1 million budget, $900,000 budget, made $7 million. So that's, plus two, but the message is amazing. And Lily's a lesbian in this movie. Who knew that Lily Tomlin was a lesbian? Ooh, she actually is a lesbian. She's been a lesbian her whole life, obviously. She's married to a wonderful woman named Jane Wagner, whom I'm also a very big fan of. The movie is an amazing triumph, and it should be seen. Laverne Cox is also in the movie, transgendered female, plays a transgendered female. And it's just really beautiful. I mean, if you haven't seen a movie to make you feel and think, this is the movie for you to see. I got a question from Britney Spears. She spells it Britknee Spears. And her question is, when will you next see Christopher? I don't know. With Christopher, it's hit and miss. I never know. He's a terrific person. I'm hoping that he's working with my team right now. I have to do a lot of things on faith, but that's something that he would tell me to do. I have to believe in God, and I have to believe in myself. And, I try very hard to miss him every day on the blog, and I try every day to tell him how much I love him. And I care about, what's going on in his life. I mean, the whole project really got started because I knew that Lori was after me, and anybody that got close to me, she was going to hurt. So, I made the choice to do this for Christopher and his mom. and it became something completely different than what I ever thought. It became all about what my life has been like with her, involving herself in my thoughts and involving herself in my day-to-day life. So Christopher knows I love him. He could walk through the door right now. Actually, he's been to this house one time, but he didn't stay. And I would love for him to visit anytime. He's more than welcome to meet me and my parents, and I want him to continue to push so that I don't have to go back to work full time on anything but this project, because this is our future. And I just wanted everybody to know, everybody thinks that, how can you possibly love somebody that is in the middle of this situation that hasn't, reached out to you? Look, this is a very difficult case. It is not a simple piece of investigation. We're looking at, multiple crime scenes, and we're looking at multiple, ways that this was done, but we're finding that it all leads back to a brother and a sister and one of their friends and a couple of other people. So what we wanted to do was make sure that you guys all know how much I care about Christopher. If you get to talk to Christopher, go ahead and tell him yourself, hey, he misses you. He loves you, obviously, because I do. And, I do think about him constantly. But, unless my life gets better because of what she's done, then my life with him isn't going to be worth anything either. So just so you know, that's how I feel. I really want to be a part of his family. I've heard nothing but the most terrific things. They're great people. I know his mom's a nice person. We've talked a couple times. It's been a while. But that's the way that is. And then one more person wanted to know about the police in Palm Springs and why I don't just go over there and talk to them about the situation, since they know what this is like. Look, I've been arrested 6 times, 7 times over there with no convictions, which means that there was really no basis for me to be arrested. When you become an informant for that police department and Lori doesn't like you, it becomes a very big hassle. And she likes to think of herself as the only person that can tell the police what's going on in the gay community, even though she herself says she's not a part of it. And one of the things that's really difficult is being able to go there and feel like I have any kind of positive standing with them, because I've never heard anything positive. Never. I've never heard anything like, thanks for your help with this. I've never heard you were right about your rape. I've never heard anything. Basically, they made me feel like I got raped, but it didn't really happen. I mean, I don't know how they think my skull got broken, but they think it's, osmosis or something. But the last thing I heard from the current police chief was, there's nothing more we can do for you. So, I can't really quantify how much that isn't something that you should do to a victim of a crime. And I can't really emphasize enough how poorly what they've done and has been handled. Do I like the police chief there? No, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't like him. He lied to my face. I've sent him people that he wanted me to send to him, and he treated them badly, or had somebody go out and treat them badly. We had important information to give to him, and he didn't even bother. And I just want everybody to understand, look, I did my best for this department, not just for myself, but for them as well. I wanted them to be at the forefront of this crime, not trailing behind. So from what I understand, they have people working on it. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't like to go there, because the last time they tried to arrest me for calling them when I had a restraining order against somebody, and they didn't think that they wanted to do that. So it's hard. But anyways, that's the show for tonight from my parents' house. Welcome. And I hope everybody understands that, every single day is a struggle with Lori. It's always her jealousy versus my success. And anything that I succeed in, she feels is a failure for herself. I don't live my life that way. I don't really know this person. I know about her very well, and I know, what she acts like. But there's no reason why my successes should have been her failure unless she's guilty of this crime. She thinks that I was a good example of, this is what you can do to somebody. And I'm showing you that this is a good example of what you can do to somebody that does this to you. So just so you guys all understand, I want everybody to know that I love Christopher very much. I miss him. If he walked through the door right now, I'd just be in tears probably. But, that's not going to happen. So Stay on top of whoever's in charge if you know them. And that's about the show for tonight. Lily, that was a great, great movie. Jane, fantastic. I loved it. I would watch it 100 more times. It made my top 10 the first time I saw it. So it's great. Everybody have a good night. Bye.